Episode 630. Dawnlight Frostbite lay dead on the ground, unable to revive in time. All he wanted right now was to spit out a mouthful of blood first, and join forces with the He dynasty to take down the Herb Hall. Right, Ai Shi of the Chinese Herb Hall was the first to get taken out cleanly, but right after that he turned around and took himself out. How come you didn't give a heads up about that? Dawn's frustrated shade of ice had become a soul vision, floating in the air, watching the three guilds below erupt into chaos. Players from the Herbal Hall charged at the Blue Pavilion, while Blue Pavilion players surged toward the Jia dynasty. They had all come to rescue their own guild leaders, but their leaders died too quickly. Rescue and counter-rescue had lost all meaning, yet the conflict had already erupted into full-scale chaos. But without unified command, neither Blue Creek Pavilion nor Chinese Herb Hall had any clear strategy. It was just a brawl fueled by pure vengeance. If the name above their head wasn't their own guilds, they'd strike without a second thought.
That's just too despicable.
Chen Guo stared at Ye Shu for a good half-minute before she could finally force out that one sentence. And when she did, there was no satisfaction in her voice at all. Despicable. She felt the word didn't even begin to capture what she was feeling. Especially after Ye Shu stirred up trouble, Lord Grimm immediately ducked behind the Jieg. Shen Guo had expected Ye Shu to go after Meng Tiancheng of the Jia Guild next, after taking down the leaders of the other two guilds, but he didn't. This meant that the Jia Guild, with its commander, now seemed poised to gain the upper hand in the three-guild brawl. But before Chen Guo could complain, she realized that might not be the case. The guild in the worst position was Blue Brook Guild. The boss, Desperado, still had his aggro locked on them. Killing Stone Forest had dumped the Herb Guild's aggro onto them too, and then, when they charged at the Jia dynasty, they racked up a fresh batch of aggro. Surrounded on three sides, the players of Blue Creek Pavilion really didn't want to be this impressive. But now, regret was no longer an option. The guild in the second worst position after Blue Creek Pavilion wasn't the other leaderless guild, Central Grass Hall. It was the Jia dynasty. With Meng Tiancheng at the helm, Jia dynasty held the field steady enough, but even they struggled to withstand the chaotic onslaught. Why? Because of Lord Grimm, of course. After Lord Grimm sent both bosses flying into the enemy formation, no one even got to hear their last words. They just watched helplessly as the two leaders were beaten into corpses. Naturally, he earned the highest aggro. The players from Herb Garden and Blue Brook Guild, lacking any clear strategic intent, charged forward on pure impulse, most of them dead set on taking down Lord Grimm first. But by then, Lord Grimm had already slipped behind the Jia dynasty team. The Jia dynasty guild members offered him no resistance. After all, he hadn't laid a finger on their leader, Meng Tiancheng. So, with both enemy guild leaders taken out, it was crystal clear whose side Lord Grimm was really on. So it really is Captain Yi Chu. The members of the Jia Guild were thrilled. Without a second thought, they shielded Ye Chu's Lord Grimm, blocking the full force of the aggro's charge. This was clearly another decision driven by personal loyalty. The Jia dynasty had decision-makers, but no real strategic vision. From a strategic standpoint, they weren't any different from the Chinese Herb Hall or the Blue Brook Pavilion. Well, this situation just got a bit awkward, didn't it? Meng Tiancheng of the Jia Guild quickly sensed something was off. Even with the other two guilds' leaders down, Meng Tiancheng found himself unable to stabilize the situation. The combined assault from both guilds was simply too much for the Jia dynasty to handle, no matter how he tried to reposition his forces. Strategically, everyone was letting their emotions drive the fight. Tactically, though, even without their commanders, the players from Blue Brook Guild and Herb Garden were still coordinating on a local level. In a battle this large, everything operated by the squad. And since squads were made of teams, and teams had leaders, well, there you had it. For now, both guilds' teams were only missing the coordination between squads. Within each squad, the squad leader was still there to direct and command. In other words, both guilds had lost their overall coordination, but they still had several smaller units fighting on. If it were a one-on-one fight, The Jia Guild could leverage its overall advantage, but now, with both guilds attacking them from all sides and too many small skirmishes breaking out, the numerical superiority of their opponents was putting immense pressure on Meng Tianchen. After all, he was only at the level of a skilled online gamer. His commanding ability was nowhere near professional grade. Under these circumstances, pulling off a one versus many command deployment was a bit beyond him. When it came to professional level skill, Meng Tianchen immediately thought of one person, and that wasn't just professional level, that was the absolute peak of professional level. Meng Tianchen's gaze swept around, and soon enough he spotted Lord Grimm. This guy was squatting way in the back of their Jia Dynasty team, looking for all the world like some random passerby grinding mobs. When it came to weighing pros and cons, Meng Tianchen was quite sharp. Lord Grimm had single-handedly created this situation, yet now he was crouching in a safe zone far from the action, while at the heart of the battle, players from all three guilds kept falling one after another. Lord Grimm, is he really helping their Jia dynasty, or does he have ulterior motives? Meng Tianchen never once considered whether Lord Grimm might actually be Ye Chu. He simply pondered Lord Grimm's series of actions, and a growing unease settled in his heart. If Lord Grimm truly wanted to help their Jia dynasty, his support would have been far more than this. An uneasy Meng Tianchen fell back, quickly slipping to Lord Grimm's side. He sent a party invite, only to receive a system prompt. The target already had a party.
What? They already have a team?
This warning instantly pushed Meng Tianchen's suspicion to its peak.
What exactly are you trying to do?
Meng Tianchen blurted out.
Scavenging.
Those three soft-spoken words hit him like a thunderbolt, leaving Meng Tianchen utterly stunned. Scavenging? As someone who often led teams, Meng Tianchen knew exactly what scavenging was. He had dealt with scavengers more times than he could count. But a scavenger this high-end, Meng Tianchen had never seen one before. Ordinary scavengers are more passive. They can only wait and hope for a chaotic situation to give them an opening. But Lord Grimm, not him. He took the initiative, actively creating this chaotic, uncontrollable mess, taking the art of scavenging to a whole new level. This kind of scavenging wasn't just about picking up easy pickings anymore.